Hi everybody, welcome to Kitchen Chemistry. Tonight we're going to be doing an Easter craft project. We're going to be using natural plant material to color our Easter eggs. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go through all the different vegetables and fruits and things like that that you can do to different colors. Then I'm going to show you how to make the perfect hard-boiled egg. Then we're going to apply the colors to the eggs. So it's going to be a lot of fun, and don't hesitate to ask some questions. If you're curious about anything that I'm showing you, or if there's something else that popped into your mind, by all means ask. Eric will transfer the questions to me and I'll be happy to answer. Welcome, I'm so excited to have you join us. Alright, so let's get down to the nitty gritty. What we're going to be doing here is pretty much making a tea or a juice from all different fruits and vegetables. And we'll start off with this one right here, because this is the one closest to me. This is actually chili powder. What I've done was I boiled a big pot of water. I put about a cup of water in the jar, a tablespoon of vinegar, and chili powder. I let it set for about 20 minutes, and then I dropped an egg in there. These are hard-boiled eggs. So this is the color that you get from the chili powder. It's kind of like a tannish type color. So what I'm going to do here is there's a little bit of chili powder there. You can rinse that off. I'm going to add that right to a napkin and let you guys see that. The next thing I'm going to show you is paprika. All right? And we did a little fancy thing to the paprika egg here. We'll talk about that a little later on. So the color is not that strong. It's a little bit of a speckled, kind of like brownish color, but that's what you get. I've tried every kind of fruit and vegetable that had any type of color or that colored my food in the kitchen, and I experimented with it. Some of them was extremely successful, others were major flops. So these are the results. Here we have what normally would be saffron, but saffron is way too expensive to do a craft project like this. So what I'm using is safflower, which is kind of, should I say, a substitute for saffron. It gives the color of saffron, but it doesn't really have the unique flavor of what saffron is. So I'm going to show you what this egg looks like, because this is a really good one. And saffron is extremely inexpensive. I'm showing you this package. Safflower. Safflower is extremely inexpensive as opposed to saffron, which is a fortune. That's what the package looks like. I think I got these in one of the local supermarkets. So look at that beautiful color. Is that not gorgeous? It's very, very pretty yellow. All right, so I'm going to lay that right there and let that dry off. Now, here we have, which is very, very popular with any kind of food coloring. It's beets. This is what a beet looks like, okay? And it's one of the most successful colors, I'm not going to lie. Here we go. I didn't put a new egg in there. We'll talk about that later. This is what the egg color looks like here. It's like a little bit of a maroony kind of color. Yeah. So this one actually speckled out. I don't know why. Sometimes that happens and sometimes it doesn't. But that looks pretty cool. And now I have a juice over here. I'm using blueberry juice. So if you're going to use juices, don't get the sweetened concentrated ones. Get the pure juice, because this one's going to be just strictly the fruit, so it saves you the hassle of having to make the teas and things like that. But that's what that looks like, blueberry. This was in for probably about an hour. And there's the color. Look at that. Stunning.
Nice.
It's a nice, rich purple. This one, in my opinion, is one of the fails, the next one. You would think that since we're using plant material to color all these gorgeous things, you would think the easiest color to find would be green. Well, it is not. We've tried everything under the sun. I've looked online, and they said use spinach. They said use parsley. I've even seen images where they show you this big, vibrant lime green, and they said they used parsley. Did not work for me, so I don't know what that was. But this here, I used matcha tea. So I did get a little, if you look at it closely, it's kind of like a chartreuse, a very, very light green. but it's not really a vibrant green that we're trying to look. If ever I find something that's going to color green, I'm going to let you know. This one's only been in for a few minutes, and it's not quite there yet, so we'll check that again later on. All right, so now we're going to start over here. How many people heard about Coca-Cola removing paint off your car and clean your toilet bowls and everything else? So I figured, what a great thing to try to color an Easter egg with, a can of Coke. So I got the Coke, and I soaked it, and this is the color that I got after about an hour and a half.
Wow.
So it is a pretty dark color. Is it natural? Probably not. I'm sure there's some kind of color in there. But you know what? The egg didn't explode, didn't dissolve, didn't melt. So I don't think that it's going to clean your toilet bowl. Okay? Hate to tell you, but I don't think so. So that's the Coca-Cola coffee color. Now this is another one that's very, very famous for coloring food, and that is a red cabbage.
Ooh.
And this is a beautiful color. Here we go. This was one that laid in the water for about an hour and a half. And check this out. This has just been in for about a half an hour.
Wow.
So that's a beautiful lavender color. Right? Two different ones. So I'll put that there for you. If you want a really super, very dark, rich color, then you'll leave it overnight. Okay? So we got that. Now we have hibiscus. Hibiscus is a flower. Hibiscus tea. It's red as can be, but this is the color that it comes when you soak it. So it's interesting. So I want to show you on an egg like this that if you take that egg, you can actually make little designs in there too. Look at how I'm rubbing that off. So you can kind of get a little bit of a spongy look if you want to. All right, you can probably, if you want to, let's see if I do Eric's initial there. There we go. There's your personal egg, Eric. Or Erwin. Okay, so you can do that. And then let this dry like this. And then by tomorrow, it won't remove anymore. So in other words, if I left the egg this grayish color, and I left it there, it would stay gray as long as I didn't rub it. And then if I did rub it, it has to sit like that overnight, and then it won't be able to rub anymore.
Okay.
Any questions yet?
We have a few people here. Just give me 1 second. I'm trying to resolve some of our connectivity issues.
Oh my goodness.
Who's watching? Walter says nice.
Oh my goodness. Hi, Walter.
Missy says hello.
Hi, Missy.
Amanda, Joyce, Tracy, Bracinda, everyone's watching.
Oh, cool. Welcome, everybody.
A follower, Amanda, says that she had wanted to try natural egg dye for a couple of years. She loves this.
Oh, great. Excellent. So just go for it. Now, listen, I tried a classic grape juice, too. This is Welch's. Another beautiful color. Check this out. Very, very dark and rich. It looks like a jewel.
Very nice. Okay,
so if I didn't want it this dark, I won't leave it in. This has been in there for about an hour and a half. So that's pretty dark.
Yeah.
All right. Other juices that you can use is really any juice, but it has to be 100%. It can't be concentrated and reconstituted. So I tried to do cranberry
cocktail.
Did not work. I'm going to just tell you, if there's sugar in it, the chances are pretty good there's also a lot of water in it, and then it's not going to work for this project. So you have to kind of get these. They're a little expensive. It's like $6 or $7 a bottle, but only choose maybe 2 colors or one or two colors and go for that. I also tried things like carrot juice. That didn't really work too well for me. But what does really work well is turmeric.
Oh, of course.
Look at this. This is another gorgeous color. Nice and yellow.
Yeah.
Now, I also did a little special thing on this one here, which I'll show you in a little bit. I took a crayon and I just drew on it before I put it in the color. So then you can make really fun designs as well.
So Grace says hello and that she loves our videos.
Thank you, Grace.
Walter digs that dark one, so he liked the blueberry one.
Okay.
And Amanda Gonzalez asks about beets.
Oh, cool. I did beets. Beets were over here. Beets, this was the beet one, right here. So beet's great, and it does really well.
This one here.
Yeah, right here. I'm going to drop that in there. Look at that beautiful color. Just one or two little dips. It actually looks better if you don't let it sit too long as the beet color. The same thing with the blueberry juice, I'm not going to lie. If you do one or two dips, that's actually enough. Okay. And we'll talk about the reason why the color sucks into the egg in a minute. Let me just get through these colors. So here we have some coffee.
Oh,
this is
some
my
espresso.
last one. This is coffee. And you can use coffee and tea and all things like that. And this guy is a little covered with something too. We'll talk about that in a little while as well. So those are the colors that were somewhat successful. And if I do find a green, I will definitely post it. But right now, this is the colors you have to work with. So now let's talk about making a perfect hard-boiled egg.
Okay.
The first thing you're going to do is take your eggs out of the fridge. You're going to put 2 quarts of water in a pot with a tablespoon of baking soda. You're going to bring this to a boil. As soon as it boils, you're going to take a very, kind of like a ladle or something, and very delicately add your eggs to the pot of water, of boiling water. It's really important. Otherwise, it's going to be much harder to get your shells off of the eggs if they did not go into boiling water. I add the baking soda because the baking soda plays along. It's an alkaline, and I personally find that it helps the eggs separate a little easier when you're trying to peel them. You can only imagine, if anyone ever peeled a hard-boiled egg, sometimes they're really hard to peel. But by adding the baking powder, for me, I feel it makes it a lot easier. Thanks, Lucas, for that hint.
the baking soda.
The baking soda.
Yes.
What did I say?
Baking powder.
Baking soda. Okay. Baking powder actually is the opposite. It has acid in it. Okay. So
We have one quick question. Joyce said to try natural cranberry juice that has no added sugar. And Bracinda asks if we tried onion skins. Her
Yes.
grandmother used to try them.
absolutely. I tried onion skins. I saw it when I was doing the onion skins. They kind of like did the browns and things like that. So I had a lot of browns here, so I didn't bother with that. But absolutely, onion skins are very, very popular as a natural coloring. Very good. Thank you. Yes, and I did not try the cranberry that is unsweetened. That's the same as this brand, but I'm pretty sure that that's going to probably work a lot better than what I had. You also can make your own juice. You can take a bag of cranberries and run it through your juicer, and that will work as well. The same thing with the blueberries. When blueberries are really cheap, just get a pack of them and run them through your juicer. But you can't add water, so you have to get enough blueberries
To cover
make
your egg.
at least a cup of juice. So that could run into some bucks. So it might be cheaper just to get the big buckets. But that will, any of those juices, I think will work really great.
Great.
Okay.
So you have
so
your...
the water's boiling. I'm going to set my timer for 12 minutes, exactly 12 minutes. I'm going to put my eggs in here and let them not quite boil. I'm going to lower it to a medium-high heat and let them cook for exactly 12 minutes. That's going to give you a perfect hard-boiled egg on the inside. Now, if you like your yolk a little bit softer, then you can go down to 10 minutes, okay? If you want soft-boiled eggs, then you go down to like a 4-minute egg or something like that. But we want hard-boiled eggs for this project. So 12 minutes makes the perfect hard-boiled egg. You shouldn't have any green around the yolk. If you go over 12 minutes, then you might start getting that that reaction, that chemical reaction of an overcooked egg. Also, when eggs are overcooked, the white turns rubbery, so you don't want that as well. All right.
Great.
Now, the eggs are cooking for 12 minutes, boiling away. The timer goes off. Now you're going to remove the eggs one at a time, and you're going to drop them in an ice bath, very carefully. So you can't just take the whole pot and pour it through a colander because all your eggs are going to be crushed. And then you're going to get another kind of crafty egg, but you're not going to be able to color them and have them look really pretty. Okay? So, once that's done, once they're cooled off, we'll get rid of this. Now we can do some fun things. We're going to use some rubber bands, and we're going to use some floral tape. Okay, and some crayons. You can also use those foam stickers and dots and all kinds of fun things like that. Anything that's going to completely seal the contact to the egg. So you can't have something loose. You can't, if you wrap it with twine, the twine is going to suck into the fabric and then it's going to transfer the color right to your egg. You want some kind of a barrier that's going to not allow the food color to touch the egg white. All right? So here I added the floral tape, and I know one of these guys has floral tape in it too.
Oh, the coffee.
The coffee?
In front of the coffee.
In front of the coffee. Okay, here we go. So, we soaked this for about an hour, and now I'm going to just pull this off. There we go. And there you have the design. So now if I wanted to, I can drop this in a second color. And I might want to consider doing a color that's going to mix with this. Now this happens to be brown, so it's not really going to matter. Maybe I'll just stick it into a yellow. Stick it into there. But if I had originally did the egg yellow, then what I could do is dip it into one of the bluer colors, and then when I pull it out, it's going to be green and blue. So you can do things like that, or orange and red. You can kind of like mix the colors together to get that fun layering look.
So you have boiled your eggs. Matthew's asking, what is the shelf life of a hard-boiled egg?
I'm going to say a week. Okay, if they're peeled, they don't last quite as long. So you want to keep them in their shell, not cracked. Eat the cracked ones first. In your yard, they don't last long. So you're going to hide the eggs for your grandkids or your children. You got to get them. Make sure you have a head count of how many eggs you hid. Otherwise, they'll be a surprise. I've heard of somebody, my uncle, one time found an egg in August from Easter hiding in his couch. It's a miracle it didn't start smelling. But that's what happens sometimes with hiding the hard-boiled eggs. All right. So
Great.
now, Eric, do you remember which one we did the rubber bands with?
This one here.
Oh, there it is. Okay, so this is the rubber band look. As again, we're going to go like this. I'm just going to snap these off. So the little thinner guys didn't really show. You just barely see those little guys. I feel like I want to glue two candy eyes on here. It looks like a mummy. Okay, so let's see. Maybe we'll drop that into the blue. See what happens there. Ooh, interesting. Okay, so that's another one. And then we have the crayons. So this is where you can get a little creative if you want. There's a Polish technique with coloring eggs using melted wax. It's the same as a crayon, except it's a little more detailed with that. That's a phenomenal art. You have to look up a YouTube video on that. So I'm just going to basically draw a little stem and a little flower with the crayon. I could color it in if I want to. I can get really creative. Let's see here.
Oh, it's too bright.
What's too bright, the table?
Yeah. You'll have to just show us after you're done.
Okay. And then I'm going to just drop that in. I'm kind of liking this hot. Ooh, look at this.
Ooh,
this is the beet, guys.
the
Look at
beets.
the beets. There you go. So that's the beet color. So what I'm going to do, this is the beet again. I'm going to just rub it off to get a nice, beautiful, evenly colored pastel pink egg. Look at that.
Nice.
That's beautiful. So look at the difference. This is only, what, 5 or 10 minutes? And this is for an hour and a half. So I'm going to drop our little flower one in there. And then we'll take that. Ooh, I love it.
Very nice.
Yeah, it's already repelling the wax.
Kathy Steiner just logged on and says hello.
Hi, Kathy. We miss you. Okay. All right. So now I have another fun project that I want to show you. So while we're letting these eggs sit here and soak into all the different mixtures and stuff, I'm going to talk to you about a fun thing to do with the kids. Fill an extra jar with straight up vinegar, and then drop your eggs in there and leave them in there overnight. This is so much fun. Did anybody ever do this project before? It's really crazy. Straight up vinegar. So what happens is the shell of the egg is calcium. So the vinegar actually dissolves the shell of the egg. And when you first do this, you'll literally see foam coming up to the top of the jar. Then you're going to take your egg out. Look at that. Ah, look. It's rubbery. How crazy is that? That's an actual egg in there. And the reason why that happens is because the membrane that's underneath the shell is intact, but the egg itself is, the egg shell itself is gone.
Look how big that is compared to the other eggs.
I know, because what it did is it sucked in, I don't know, it must be blowing up in there. It's probably like, yo, what did you do to me? So all the food color from the birch is there. I wish I can...
Oh!
You want to break it open?
Woo!
You want to scare somebody, you can do that. Oh, look at that. Weep, weep, boo, weep, boo. Right. I don't know if you'd want to eat it or not.
No, I wouldn't eat it.
No. Oh, that reminds me. When you're using all these flavors, they are flavors. So they may flavor your egg a little bit. So when you actually peel the egg, you might have a little hint of some of these flavors in there. Okay? Especially if there was there it goes. Scrambled egg. Ooh. So let me know if you do that project. It's as easy as can be. It's literally stick an egg in a jar or a cup, cover it with vinegar, and then the next day, 24 hours later, that's what it's going to look like.
I think you got Walter impressed.
All right, Walter. See, I know all these tricks. I've been around the block a few times. So, another thing that you can do, this is a Chinese... They're called Chinese eggs, actually. And what you do is you take a hard-boiled egg and you literally crack it. However you want to crack it. You want to make all cracks on it. And then what you do is you make a tea, regular black tea. I think you double the tea bag, so instead of 1 tea, you do 2. And then you are going to add cinnamon stick, a little anise star, some citrus, and then you soak the egg in there. So when it's done, when you take the shell off, it's going to have that whole little crackly look. And they eat the eggs like that, so it's kind of fun. I drop that in there.
You probably flavor the egg with all the...
Yeah, it's going to, because you cracked it, the flavor is going to go into the egg, and then you serve those eggs. So that's another fun project to do. The other thing, after Easter, you have all these hard-boiled eggs. What you can do is make yourself a confetti salad and just cut them all up. Throw a little sliced onion in there, a scoop of mayonnaise, or if you want a scoop of yogurt, and salt and pepper, stir it up, and that makes a great egg salad. Okay? So it's a lot of fun. All right, who has questions for me? This is going to be a fast night after all the other projects we've had, but I just know it's an important thing, especially this week with Easter and everyone being natural, conscious about nature and things like that.
Absolutely. So feel free to ask any questions you have in the comment section below here. If you are curious about how to do this again down the road, we have this video archived on Facebook and on our YouTube channel, Kitchen Chemistry. Lisa, are there any recipes for this that they can find on our page?
I posted all the instructions and all the colors and what the colors do. And I can forward you images because I took pictures of all these different colors if you want to see. But in general, there's tons of information online as well. I put the instructions on how to make a perfect hard-boiled egg on there as well. Okay?
Very cool.
So,
did we want to pull out the one egg that we did the test on?
Okay, so this is the one that we did the flour on. You could personalize lucky eggs before you hide them around. Whoops.
Oh, look at.
Okay. So incidentally, all these dyes also work with tie-dye t-shirts and stuff like that.
Oh, very cool.
So you can also do that. So look at how cool is that. That was the one that we had the rubber bands on, and now you have the blue, which filled in the white from the rubber bands.
Great. Walter asks if he can eat the eggs, or did Erwin call dibs?
Walter, we have so many eggs from me doing all these experiments and stuff. Believe me, there's plenty of eggs. If you want one, by all means.
And then Patricia says, "Hi Lisa, doing a great job. Love the College Point girls."
Aw, thanks, Patricia. Yes, College Point. Whoop, whoop. All right. So here you go. Here's the yellow that we put in. We was the brown, and then we put the yellow in there.
Oh, cool.
All right. So that's it, guys. Oh, one more thing. If you want to, I'm just gonna spray it because I don't have any oil. If you want to make the egg shiny, what you're gonna do is you want to really put vegetable oil on here, but I just
Oop.
cracked egg. There you go. So that makes it nice and shiny. Let's try this little guy here.
Oh, I see it.
Ooh, this one here I didn't let it dry long enough, so I'm actually creating a little bit of a mottled look. This is the blueberry. Look how cool that is.
Looks like a chalkboard.
It does. All right, guys. That's a pretty early. What is it? 20 minutes?
We're at 25 minutes.
All right,
yeah.
cool. Well, thanks for joining in tonight. We're going to be back again on Thursday. We're going to do some sweet Easter treats for Thursday. Okay, so join us then. Don't hesitate to visit us.
Share.
To share this video and to visit us on YouTube and on Facebook. And don't hesitate. I love seeing your pictures. Missy, I loved seeing your whoopie pies. They did look delicious. And everything else. So be sure to share it with us. We really appreciate it. Have a great night, guys.